the believer as the sacred vessel. By the time the New Testament reaches its fullest clarity, the shift is unmistakable. Sacred space is no longer defined by where you go, but by who you are. Paul says it plainly, without metaphor or buildup. Do you not know that you are God's temple and that God's Spirit dwells in you? 1 Corinthians 3:16. For centuries, God's presence had been associated with specific places: the tabernacle, the temple, the most holy place. Access was limited. Movement was regulated. Proximity was rare. Now, Scripture says that the dwelling place of God is no longer a structure made with hands, but people shaped by grace. The language shifts everywhere. Peter calls believers living stones being built into a spiritual house. 1 Peter 2:5. Paul describes Christians as vessels, not neutral containers, but purposeful ones, writing that in a great house there are vessels for honorable use, set apart and ready for the master's work. 2 Timothy 2:20-21. A vessel exists to carry something that does not originate with itself. Its value comes from what it holds and how it is used. In the New Testament, believers are described that way because God's Spirit now dwells within them, accomplishing what sacred objects once symbolized from a distance. This doesn't make holiness casual. It makes it personal. If the body is a temple, then faith is no longer about visiting sacred space. It's about living as sacred space. What once required garments, oil, and ritual boundaries is now expressed through obedience, integrity, humility, and love shaped by the Spirit's presence. That's the final turn in the story of sacred objects. God moves from dwelling among His people to dwelling within them. The ark represented His presence. The temple housed it. The cross opened access to it. And now, Scripture says that presence walks, speaks, serves, and loves through ordinary people whose lives have been set apart. The most sacred object in the New Testament is not carried, preserved, or approached with fear. It walks the earth in transformed lives, bearing God's presence wherever they go.